30 years, a rare chance to see the award-winning drama A Week in the Life of Martin Cluxton, originally aired on RTE television in the early 1970s.
Neither qualified nor equipped to deal with the work of rehabilitation. But, however, because nobody else seemed interested or ordered, took on the work voluntarily and have been carrying it on with little or no financial support from the state for years. Frequently, we know nothing about the children when they arrive with regard to background and case history. And we ourselves are ill-equipped for this specialized work, having had little or no proper training. The end result is that most of the boys leave with relatively the same attitudes to and aggressions against society as when they arrived.
Sometimes I get browned off and I feel like lashing out at everything. I mean, nobody cared anything for us. Why should I feel anything for them? I was a bit frightened about going out like. My ma was supposed to let me out at Christmas, but she said she couldn't manage. I was nearly 2.5 years in the Glen, you know? Without a break like, and I didn't really want to leave when it came.
Got your ticket?
Yes, sir.
Show it to me. Good. And your reference?
Yes, sir.
You better get a seat then.
Yes, sir.
Your mother will meet you at the station in Dublin. You'll see a lot of changes in Dublin when you get home. You'll even see a lot of changes at home.
I will, sir.
Well, goodbye. Good luck.
Sir.
We'll drop right at home.
Sir.
We'll move further up.
Look, you'll do where you are. Couldn't walk another inch. If I'd known it was going to be like this, I'd have taken the car.
And of every kid in the clather jumping on it for a fortnight, you'd have liked to have driven to Aaron, water and all.
I want to go to the bar for some crisps.
Right, go to the bar for crisps.
I don't know where it is.
Daddy'll show you.
I want crisps too.
But you're only a...
Come on, man, come on. Take it easy.
Hakikanish, agus Harun March, Amen. In Anamanahan, and Vig, Spread and Aid, Amen. You the new boy?
Yes, sir.
What's your name, boy?
Martin, sir.
Martin what?
Martin de Paris, Cluxton, sir.
And what are you here for, Martin?
For robbing, sir.
What did you steal?
Different things, sir. Out of cars.
A coincidence, Martin. We've been examining the commandments of God one by one. And today we're at Kelly,
The 7th, sir.
the 7th. Supposing this whole class were to wake one morning and find that everyone else in the world had disappeared. Priests, brothers, policemen, fathers, mothers, everyone. How would we make sure that the strongest boy didn't keep beating the weakest boy and taking everything he had? Yes? Kelly?
We'd gang up on him, sir,
Why?
to help your man.
And if he did it again?
We'd do him worse.
There we have it, right from the start. Law and order. Anywhere that groups of people live, we must have law and order. Does anybody know what the word society means?
So, the society man calls to me granny.
That's a different society. The society I mean is all the people living in an area. Society must have law and order, otherwise it gangs up on the lawbreaker. God has given us a beautiful world to live in. All round us here we see the beauties he has created. The birds of the air, the flowers of the field. Yet they are not disorganized. There is no chaos. Nature has its own laws and disciplines.
Why didn't you take it up? I forgot. You didn't rush. Mammy, he's eating my crisp.
All that over an old crisp. You'll get more when Daddy comes back.
He's a good boy, sir. But I can't always be seeing what he's up to when he's out. What with the babby and the stairs.
Is your husband working?
No, sir.
Why doesn't he control him?
He'd just be out.
Where?
Down the quays, looking for work.
But he doesn't find any.
No, sir. Not very often. Just the odd time when the boats is in. He hopes to get started at the end of the week.
When he doesn't get started, does he come home?
No, sir.
What does he do? I suppose he sits with the other layabouts on the custom house steps. Is he down there now while his son is up in court? Do you realize how serious the charge is against your son? This is his third appearance in this court. Now, we have been lenient before, but this can't go on. He has no respect for property. He has the makings of a young blackguard. Now, if you can't control him, then we must. I'm going to send him to Glenmulkin Reformatory until he's 15 years old.
Would you like some chocolate?
No, thanks.
Can I have some, Mammy?
No. I've given it to her. What's your name?
John.
To John. It's John's now.
It's all right, thanks. I'm not hungry.
Have it anyway. These'll be sick of these anymore.
It's okay, thanks. I think I'll go.
Well, I don't suppose we'll hear anything more about it. Not at all. I mean, if he was going to do anything about it, you'd have heard before this. He won't do anything at all. No.
The law's a funny thing.
Look at me. I had a right bang up in the car last week. Oh, I had a few on me, but I sobered up quick.
Yeah.
And I fixed it up on the spot. Well, I'm only a mile away from McGarda Station, and what they don't know won't hurt. Rang the boss the next morning, told him I came down, found the car that way, reported it to the guards. The insurance will pay. Bob's your uncle. Collect a new car next week.
The whole insurance scene's a big fiddle. Why should you worry? There you are. You're part of a search party looking for me. Another moment. I don't suppose you'll... You have an orange or something?
Yeah.
What? In good form?
What?
Yes, I'll say they'll all be rightly shot on the boat going over.
Oh, yeah.
I don't suppose you're going over yourself.
No.
No, you don't sound like them.
Hey, will you have another?
No, thanks.
One's enough, eh?
Tell her I'll not be long. I'll be down soon. The wife.
He's a funny bloke, isn't he?
Ah, you never know.
Bloody silent.
I always thought this journey was much longer, dear. We're nearly there now.
Where were you?
Got talking to two lads from Carna. Only come back now after the Holliers. They're in London. One's working in the new underground in London Airport. Such yarn.
They could have told you the history of the Irish in Britain in the time you've been away.
Poor devils. For all their 60 quid a week. You were saying you're not for England.
Dublin.
Where have you been?
In near Glamulkin. My auntie lives there.
Down for the Holliers. Never been there. I've heard the name, though. Isn't there some kind of a borstal there? A reformer? They send young lads your age down there to get into trouble with the police. A kind of boarding school with lots of discipline. I suppose you have to be firm with some of these young thugs. They'd beat you up as soon as they'd look at you. Didn't I tell you before about that?
Don't make a scene. Put on your coat now, Pamela. We're nearly there.
I'd say it's a good place for a reformatory. Then
Mulkin.
in England, they're not so lucky. I was reading about... Remember that article in the Observer a couple of Sundays ago? What place was it based on? Anyway, they used to punch the boys around a lot.
They punched them around in Glenmulkin too.
Do they?
I met a young fella and he said a brother or a warder or somebody had kicked this other young fella in the mouth for nothing.
Well, he must have done something.
No, he didn't.
Of course, these young fellas are not... They're not down there for nothing. Remember, they've broken the law. Most of them have no respect for property, breaking into factories and causing thousands of pounds worth of damage. What they must learn is that what they do to others can also be done to them.
How could they
How could the what?
have any respect for property? They don't own anything.
Well, that doesn't stop them from obeying the law. But it's hardly their fault, I suppose. It's the fathers and mothers I blame. Nothing but a crowd of drunken layabouts.
Didn't remember anything about Dublin. It was all strange a bit. Couldn't remember what it looked like. It was very strange. I couldn't remember me home even, what me ma and Chrissy and me dad looked like. I was supposed to meet me ma at the station. I was afraid I wouldn't know her. Remember what she looked like, you know?
Ma.
Here, would you ever let me sit down there till I catch me breath? Only for Mrs. Boyle, I wouldn't have gotten here at all. Stand out there till I see you.
Hello, young fella. You got big since I seen you last. No one will trade his coat in front of you anymore.
Ma, can we go home now? I want to go to the Jacks.
How are you go and find the toilet? Then come back here and we'll go home then. It's the one over there. Thanks. I won't light it now.
You all right?
I'll be all right in a minute. Isn't he looking well?
He'll eat you out of house and home.
That'd be easy. Still, if he gets a little job, he'll be no burden.
Your biggest problem is somewhere for him to sleep.
I've been worrying about that for ages. He had a bed of his own in Glenmulkin, so he won't want to be going in with the rest of them at home. Anyways, with Chrissy turning 15, it wouldn't be right to have herself and Martin in together. We'll manage.
You can always send Chrissy in to me.
Sure, I'd be at a dead loss without Chrissy these days.
Well, Margaret, then.
We'll see. I suppose the main thing is for him to get settled in now that he's out. Yes, Son, by the time we get the bus. I kept Chrissy at home from school since Christmas to my baby. His father's mother took the twins from each day. I'm sorry we couldn't take you out for Christmas, Son, but on account of your dad.
That's all right.
You run along there now in front. I want to talk to Mrs. Boyle. There's 3 more bodies in it since he went away. I keep thinking of Martin's cousin Billy Cluxton. He never settled in when he came home.
Oh, he's the one that went to St. Patrick's after.
Yeah, that's him.
Ma?
Martin's very like Willie, very quiet in himself.
Ma, what about Willie Cluxton?
Nothing, son. I'm talking to Mrs. Boyle.
Well, Martin, I'm sure you're dying to see the lads again.
I don't know.
Oh, why wouldn't you be? After the bingo, he invited himself up. I told him no, the kids would walk in on top of us. Did you see him coming up?
No.
Thought he'd never go. He was no sooner inside the door than he started. And then, give you a laugh, the door opened and in walked Winnie's youngest looking for a loan at the Heartland. Before the child could open his mouth, he'd given him a couple of bob and told him to go and buy chips.
Oh, I know who's going to go for our chips.
God knows I wouldn't have minded if we were in the park, but not there.
Turn around there now, Martin, and look out the window.
What happened? Well, young Jimmy came in with a gash in his leg, and he left, gave up, went off in a huff.
You turn around and look out the window. I don't know, like, it's hard to know the answer. I never really, understood him, you know, even though he's my eldest son. He wasn't like a bit like the rest of us, you know. He was more like his cousin, very quiet in himself. It's hard to keep an eye on him all the time. Like, I remember now one day, I was going out for the children's allowances and had to come back in here for something. And when I went out one of them, I gone over the balcony. It's nearly killed. You can't be watching them like all of the time. There's no place for them to play. They go up to Gardner Street and Talbot Street and start messing around with cars, you know, and they take little things in the beginning. They don't understand. Then they take bigger things and get into trouble. And the guards will come down here and batter in the door. And, you know, even if they haven't taken things at all, the next thing is, you know, that they're above in court and they're put away, you know. Sometimes, though, I think he's better off, you know, put away. 'Cause he doesn't be in bad company. I can't be watching them all at the time. Like, I do have to have the dinner on the table here, you know. It's a terrible thing, like, with 10 of them in 3 rooms. I just don't know what the answer is like, you know. don't know. Hiya, Martin.
Ma says to put the cat.
You look bigger than I thought you'd be.
Where's Dad?
Down the keys.
Is he working?
No.
Does he still get days in the cold?
No, we get Nixes on the lorries.
How?
Well, the dockers won't load the country lorries if the drivers don't have helpers, and the country lorries don't have helpers. So they pick someone up on their way to the docks, they load up, and they drop them on the way back at the custom house.
How much is it worth?
Don't know, he never says. Quid or two.
Are you working?
No, I'm still at school.
But you're old enough.
Yeah, but my teacher told Ma she'd get me a job if I stayed on at school another year.
What kind of job? At soap?
No, in an office writing. What are you going to do with yourself?
I'm going to be a mechanic in a garage.
We got a start?
No, but I'll get one.
Chrissy! Chrissy! Mommy said look him up and pull her up in the bed.
Chrissy!
She's just gone out for a minute.
I thought Chrissy was minding the baby.
She is. She's just lifting someone up in the bed.
For a minute there, I didn't know you. I thought you were the fella Chrissy is after. You're Martin.
Yeah.
Do you not recognise me? I'm Jimmy Rose's sister.
Is Jimmy in just now?
Sure, Jimmy was sent away.
When?
Before Christmas.
What was he taken for?
He said he took lead off for a roof.
And did he?
Sure wore ads. He's in the gangle now.
I didn't recognise you when you came in.
I wouldn't know you either, you got so big.
You got big yourself.
Yeah, and they're mine too. You can feel them if you like.
I think I better see to the baby.
Yeah, you swallowed it. Here, give it to me.
She went out somewhere.
She's me heart scalded. She's the tea ready.
Some women in bed want.
Oh, we're great. It comes to looking after one of her own.
Hey, Martin.
Now that you're home, Martin, you'll have to give a hand. Hey, Mum, look what back I found.
Where were you?
Lifting up Bridie, look what back I found on the dump.
What's in it?
Pieces of paper.
Go on, throw it back.
Oh, Ma.
I don't want that door being battered down tonight by guards.
I didn't get it on the dump. Jimmy Hughes gave it to me.
Where did he get it?
He said he got it out of Carden Abbey Street.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, as if I hadn't got enough.
Chrissy, will you go down quick to the dump and throw it back and come back here then? Wait till your father comes home. He'll beat you for playing with Jimmy Hughes. Where do you think you're going?
I'm going out for a while.
Tea is nearly ready.
Just gone out to look around.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Dad.
Is the tea ready?
Not yet.
Good, then we can have a chat. How was it, Dan?
All right, Dad.
I hope you've learned your lesson.
Yes, Dad.
You'll be in every night of the day. And keep away from the Cronins.
Yes, Dad.
We'll get you started at the timber if there was any boats up. There's no boats up.
Yes, Dad.
There's nothing else on the quays anymore. No more casuals. We've all got some sort of a button now.
I'm going to try and get started.
Do very well, they do. Whether there's work or not.
I'm going to try and get a job.
I think the tea must be ready. Come on, son, we're talking straight.
Where's Gary and Kieran?
They're down the flats playing football. They said they'd be up in a minute.
Here, Racken. There.
What was the train like?
It's all right.
Was there anyone else coming home with you?
No.
Have you to go and see the probation officer?
They said he might call.
Did they not say to get you a job?
We got a job in Cones. He says he's going to make me into a top pressure.
Shut up, Chrissy. Your daddy's talking.
They said they'd try, but I'd have to try hardest myself.
They try.
I had a pal down the glen. His father has a garage in Summer Hill. He said he'd get me a start.
What was your name?
Smullen. I don't know his first name. All the lads called him Smelly.
Oh, here, he shows up. Something to do with spraying stolen cars. He's not there now, anyway.
I go around the garages myself in the morning.
Do you want to work in the garage?
A young fella in Foley Street fell through the roof of a garage and got killed. And when
bring in whack I wash him.
You needn't bother washing him till I've finished with him.
Don't
Or
get
take
him,
the dirt
no
off him.
respect.
He did so. We'll have no more robbers in this house. Martin. Come on, you. I'll learn you.
Look, we involve ourselves in this work because we are Christians and because our religion enjoins us to do so. We help ourselves by helping others. Sometimes we're criticized that we don't go far enough with the aid we give these people. That may be so, but really we're very inadequate to the tasks set us and the demands made upon us. We are no substitute for skilled social workers, and that's what we have been up to this. You know, it's sometimes said that we bolster up a lousy social system. Well, that may be so. But in the absence of a proper system, who's to look after the poor and the underprivileged?
You're asked to be a marriage counsellor, a psychiatrist, a probation officer, an employment officer, sometimes even a family planner.
Martin Cluxton is in need of professional help. And even with professional help, his chances of not being maimed by his environment are very, very, very slim. We are not professionals.
We can't change the environment.
Exactly. But we can help to make it more tolerable.
Is this Martin Cluxton? Is your mother in?
I'll get her.
No, we'll knock herself.
Ma, it's the gentleman.
It's all right, Martin. We'll go in a minute.
Well, Martin, are you glad to be home?
Yes, brother.
And are you going to get a job now?
I hope so, brother.
If you look at the ads in the paper, you're bound to turn up something.
Even brothers.
We were just saying to Martin that he should answer the ads in the paper.
That's all very well saying. It's bad enough when you have to say you were in Glenmulkin for years, but when you admit you're living in Corporation Avenue, you've had it. They won't touch you with a 40-foot barge pole. Any chance you could get him a job, any kind of a job.
Well, we can try.
And to start it off, if he doesn't get something, he's going to fall into bad company.
Now, Martin, you've learned your lesson. You're old enough and big enough to look after yourself.
I told him. If he's caught even standing in a doorway, he'll be in St. Patrick's in trotting time.
Your mother's right, Martin. Join a boys' club. Hmm? We'll mention your name to Father Priestley on our way down. I saw him on the flat.
Brother, we'd better be moving on, or we'll never be finished this evening. Good night, Mrs. Cluxton. See you, Martin.
Do you think you could give a little extra till Martin gets something?
I think so. We'll discuss it at the meeting and someone will call during the week.
Could you give us a note? He only has the clothes he's standing up in.
All right, Mrs. Cluxton. That'll be okay.
Thanks. Good night, brothers.
You think they'll get me a job, ma'am?
No, son. You get your week's halliers or a ticket to a party. But when it comes to jobs, they're a dead loss. Where do you think you're going at this hour?
You said I could go to the pictures for Mind the Baby today.
I did not. It's packer washed.
No, he wouldn't let me. Dad cut his backside.
Have you lipstick on?
It's Mary's.
Wipe it off.
Ah, ma, look at...
Wipe it off or you won't set foot out of here tonight. And if you're a minute late after 10 o'clock, I'll skin you, mind ya.
I saw Tommy. I did ask Tommy, but Tommy's got nothing. He can't even look after
Well,
himself.
bring it down to the priest then. Can't you go down tonight to the priest for him?
The priest? You're the one that's always talking about the priest. Why don't you see
I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time to look after the baby. For God's sake. You're his father. You're the one to be able to talk to him about things like this. And you're always the same. When it comes to asking if you're through them, what do? Go down and sit in the pub. There's plenty of time to ask.
Listen, I don't spend that much time. How many points do I?
I don't know how many of them, but you're through too many. Get off your behind and go down and see.
Well, look, it's the only place you get a chance of hearing of any.
Did you go down to the corporation, did you? No.
Well, listen, what? You
Here
want
we
to
are. We have these few rooms and all these children. For God's sake, you go down to the corporation and get us some.
Listen, if we moved out to the centre of the city, what chance would I have of getting any more?
You're not getting any jobs when you're here, are you? You're not doing any better being
What
here.
chance would I have way out in the wild somewhere? I'll be bus fares and everything down to the docks every day.
You don't have to go to the docks. You can go and do a bit of gardening or a bit of something else.
Gardening? I don't know how to do gardening.
Is that this way you sign on?
Have you not signed on before?
No.
I don't know. Try in that door there.
Thanks.
Oh, hiya, Cluxton.
Hiya, Johnny.
How's it going?
Can I help you?
Could I see the man?
What is it you want?
I want to sign on.
Have you signed before?
No.
Well, I'll fill out a form for you.
Is that what they call a phone cut, is it?
Would you like to come through there, please?
Hey, that's the man. Captain Alma, that's him.
Get the job, Cluck.
No. Just give me your name and age.
Martin Cluxton. 16 a bit.
No, I'm sorry. Date of birth.
3rd December 1954.
Have you ever worked before?
Only down Glamulkin. I used to help with the tractor.
No, that's not what I mean. Have you had a job since you left school?
No.
Where do you live?
156D Corporation Avenue.
What sort of work are you looking for?
I want to be a mechanic in the garage.
Oh, well, I'm afraid we don't have any vacancies like that at the moment. You'd have to get yourself apprenticed to a trade as a learner. The placement officer will give you all the information.
Well, what jobs do you have?
Well, sometimes a firm rings up looking for a messenger or a storekeeper or even a helper on a lorry.
Have you got anything like that now?
No, but I'll certainly drop you a card as soon as we get one. In the meantime, I'll arrange for you to meet the placement officer. He's seeing somebody at the moment, and he's all those others to see before we close. This is your registration card. You should call each Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. My dad's in the labour.
That's not quite the same thing. Your father is claiming unemployment benefit. He signs on upstairs. Good luck.
Thanks.
And don't forget to call back.
Nothing much. Cheer the cop, got a chase, couldn't get any bikes.
Heard you were walking.
Oh yeah, I had to do a job for a man. Doesn't stamp the card though.
What
I had to mind the shop for him when he's on the bottle.
What kind of shop?
Oh, a pet shop. You know, mice, goldfish in plastic bags, you know.
What's the worth?
It's worth 30 bob a day. Now, sometimes I get 2 days. And this week I'm there all the time because he has the flu. Listen, I better go because I locked up to come down here. Okay?
£7 a week good.
I like to make a few bob on the side as well. Sell the odd pigeon and keep the cash.
And he doesn't copy on?
Not at all. Bleeding pigeons are always back in the loft the next morning. I'll see ya.
I used to wander about the place, not knowing where I was going. Didn't want to join the lads again for fear of getting into trouble. Everybody seemed to have something to do or somewhere to go, except me. I used to be halfway up a street before I knew where I was. I couldn't stop too long anywhere. In a shop doorway, but you know, for fear the guards would pick me up. I used to look at the ads in the paper, but it was useless. They just didn't want to know about me.
Can I help you?
He had an ad in the paper and I want to know if it's full.
This way, please.
Yes, George, I know the chassis is a bit dodgy. Can't you fix it up?
Mr. McGreevy, there's a gentleman here to see about the interview. Take these, please.
Right, look, George, don't say it came from here, understand? I'll bring it back in 5 minutes.
Tremendous.
Sit down, please.
Brought into the lives of the people in the way the church would
What's
like.
your name?
I think that some form of socialism must be adopted.
How rigid a form?
Well, not very rigid. Certainly not of the Moscow variety or the Mao Zedong variety or anything like that. Neither do I believe in a socialism which is run by the state. My type of...
Uh-huh. Age?
16, sir.
16. Where'd you work before?
This is my first job, sir.
Well, what have you been doing for the past 2 years?
I was at school, sir.
Finish at 14?
I was sick for 2 years with rheumatics, sir.
Hmm. Well, you think a garage would be the best place for you to work if you just had rheumatics?
Well, that was ages ago, sir. I'm all right now.
Huh?
When I came out of hospital, my mother made me go back to school for 2 years until I could read and write, sir.
I see. Why do you want to work in the garage?
I want to be a car mechanic, sir.
Do you know anything about cars?
When I was down in Galway with my auntie, my uncle taught me a lot about cars. He was a mechanic, sir.
See. Can you change a filter on a car?
Yes, in a Ford or a Volkswagen.
Would you clean a set of plugs?
Well, my uncle had this machine, he screwed me.
Oh, good. Well, when do you think you could start?
Any time, sir.
Well, think we'll be able to fix you up. Oh, by the way, have you reference?
Oh, no, but I can get one, sir.
I see. What's your address?
156D Corporation Avenue.
What's that?
156D Corporation Avenue.
Well, we'll write you have a vacancy. Will you show this lad out, please? Hey, Raquel. The next person calls about that job, you find out where they live first. They come from Corporation Avenue. Don't send them into me. Jesus, it's no use asking for trouble.
Goofy!
Is it ready yet?
It's over. Chrissy said you weren't coming home. We ate yours. Gives a penny, Martin. Thanks. Goofy, come on, penny!
Who's that?
Me.
A fine time to come in for your dinner. You can wait now till tea. I haven't got another shilling for the gas. Anyways, that fire wouldn't boil a cat's spit.
I'll just have the cut of bread.
What's up there, Martin?
Nothing.
Well, go and do it elsewhere now and get out from under my feet. Are you still there? Thought I told you to go out.
I don't want to go out.
What's he at?
Nothing.
Well, will you for Christ's sake feck off out of here? You have me tormented, moping around like a dog with the mange. Look, will you go out there in the flat and play football if you can't get anything better to do? You can't sit around here all day like as if it was a rest home. And mind you, none of your fat acting with those cars anymore, or you'll not have cutting this in again.
she never needed anyone before, Mrs. Boyle. You must help her.
How?
Well, you could write to her for one thing. I'll give you the address. You can tell her that she'd be welcome home whenever she gets out.
Here?
But where else?
Oh, she can make her own way now. I was working when I was 13.
Now, isn't it quite obvious that she can't make her own way? Look, supposing I were to raise the money, would you go across and bring her home whenever she gets out? Now, you are responsible for her, Mrs. Boyle.
Saving your presence, Father, but what the hell do you know about my responsibilities? Except what you get out of a book.
Well, look, will you at least think on what I've suggested?
Yeah, I will, Father. But she's not my child, she's my sister's. I did all I could for her. But I'm fecked if I go to spend the rest of my life playing wet nurse to her. Good evening, Father. Ah, Martin, the very lad. Will you drop over after tea, love, and do a message for me?
You must be Martin Cluxton, then. How long are you home?
A couple of days, Father.
What have you been doing with yourself?
Looking for a job, Father.
Any luck?
No, Father.
Come on up to the club, then.
I won't be allowed out at night, Father.
Oh, they let you out if they know you're going to the club, won't they?
I'd have to mind the house when my mammy's at bingo, Father.
Where'd you try for this job?
Every garage between here and Smithfield, Father. See, the placement officer would be best if I got something permanent. Regular
Ah.
like, so I see.
None of them had anything for you?
No, Father.
Keep the heart up, Martin. You never know. God is good. I'll say a little prayer for you. Hey, we'll see you at the club, then.
Yes, Father.
Some people are of the opinion, and I agree with them to a certain extent, that a priest's main function is to look after the spiritual well-being of his people. For if you become too involved in the social or physical problems, you tend to lose sight of your main objective, which is the salvation of their souls, and indeed my own soul for that matter. I have tried in my own way over the years to try and bring a little color to their lives. We organized a work group some time ago, painted some of the doors and walls, etc. But this is a decaying area. It's a small section of a very large parish. Unemployment is high, and the people, as a result, suffer immense depression. And no coloring or no cans of paint can gloss over a situation like that. Martin Cluxton is a direct product of this environment, and his problems are threefold. They are medical, environmental, and spiritual. Now, spiritually, I can help him, but medically and environmentally, I'm just not qualified.
nearly pissed in me pants with the fright, and I ran and I ran. I knew that if I was caught, I was done for. I didn't know where I was going. Can't remember how long I ran for. I just wanted to get away. It was nice out in Dahlia at that time in the morning. It was just me there. Only me.
You're up early.
I woke up with the cold.
Are you sleeping rough? Well, sleeping rough is like dining in the Shelburne. You have to be dressed for it. Remind me to give you the name of my tailor. You must be frozen sitting there. I got a fire going over beyond. Join me. If you're running from something or somebody, son, you're going the wrong way. Nothing out there but the sea. Sit down. Take one. Go on. Take one. Mind your finger. Here. Yes. It's hard roughing it this time of the year. Even for an expert like me. Where do you sleep? Oh, round. Here. Sheds, warehouses. Sometimes in a car in Smithfield. Though the winos are a noisy lot when they start getting tanked up. It depends on my field of operations, you might say. But I prefer it here. Is the law after you?
No.
And what has you here?
What is you here?
Well, like I said, I like to live adjacent to my work. I do the dumps. There's a select little one now just beyond the dunes there. Yeah, me and the seagulls, we pick a living off the dump. And the good people of Dublin, they send me long loads of their rubbish all day, 5 days a week, just for me to pick up. Yeah. They send me their riches. And believe me, the riches here in plenty for to pick up, if you know how to pick. They discard everything, that lot, God bless them. Everything from armchairs to washing machines. The whole society is based on waste. You hear that? Based on waste. That's good. Yeah. That's my side. You drink out of that side. Would you like to give me a hand?
I hope to get a start in the garage.
That's a pity. Sometimes I sit here. I look out across at Holt, Clontarf, the houses, the buses, the cars. Sometimes I think I'll die of loneliness. But then I think of their organization, law. Oh, whoa, whoa. I don't want to belong. Well, if we sit here much longer, the tide will get us. Let me tidy up. You put out the fire. No, hold it. You don't want to burden the soles of your shoes, do you, huh? Did you ever sleep rough before?
No.
I thought so. Why didn't you go home then if you weren't in trouble, All right, so they get at you at home. There's no use dropping out of spite. It was a conscious decision with me, not to conform. Look at you. You don't understand a bloody word I say, do you? You think nobody understands you. The law and everybody's against you personally.
I was picked up for nothing.
And they'll go on picking you up if you drop out. And you're guilty until found innocent.
It's just that I can't... I don't know.
Yes, they fixed your position for you. They've given you a class and number, and don't you dare try to break out. It's a vicious circle, and they don't like to see you lead the crowd. They envy you your freedom. Look at the Tinkers. And if you're not careful, they'll try to rehabilitate you. Jeez, I missed my vocation. Should have been a priest or a politician with all the old crap I come out with. Be boring the arse off you.
No, honest.
Confessions to be heard every morning at precisely high tide. Earth to earth. And ashes to ashes. Serious, son. Go your own way. If ever you want to talk, you know where to find one listener at least. Go your own way, boy. For Christ's sake, don't make a bollocks of it.
Thanks for the grub.
Forget it.
Were you home yet?
No, I wasn't. Why?
I'm worried sick about you.
They are in my arse. They don't give a shite where I am. They're glad I'm not in the way.
Well, I know they're worried. Somebody told your ma about the kid that fell through the roof after the pigeon. And she keeps thinking maybe you're in the Methodist hospital or somewhere. How is any of us to know?
Are you worried?
Or should I be? It's just that Chrissy keeps going on about you. Where were you anyway?
Around. What's it to you anyway? No one gives a bugger. Why should you?
Would you cop yourself on and stop moaning? It was you that ran away. Why should they care? You starved. Come on, I'll buy a few chips.
Hey, Mary. So you went and got yourself a new manager.
Jesus, you are starved. How long since you last ate? Listen, your ma said you'd a chance of a start. Did you get it? Does she know? Why don't you go home and tell her? Even Chrissy's worried skinny.
What about your ma? Does she know? Does she care? Why aren't you at home now?
I can look after myself.
In a Mercedes?
You know what it's like when you're starting a zone. Jesus, you start at 14, a 50 bob a week. By the time you're 20, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. You're fecked out.
Look, there's £8 in that bag there. When did you last see £8?
Is it worth it if you're put up?
Are you worried? Did you go down the club?
Yeah.
How'd you go?
How do you think?
Jeez, I know that crowd make you sick. Always going on about their games and their projects and their do-good to others. Jeez, you'd never think they came from the buildings.
There was one fool then.
I'll give us the vinegar.
What?
There's one fool there. Thought he could play table tennis. Thought he was it. His back spins and his forward spins. I let him get 10 up and then I put the pressure on. Beat him 21-10.
Jesus. Martin, let's get
Should
out of
show
here.
him how.
Come on. Tell us, what was it like in the Glen? Must have been funny, all them boys living together. I heard some queer stories.
I'm not queer.
For Jesus' sake, I never said you were. You got a match?
No.
Well, I'm not going back in there. Didn't the teacher trade in the Glen?
Yeah, I can drive a tractor and sole a boot.
You'd be able to plant potatoes on the flat then. Oh, look, will you come off it? You're not in culture land now. Even if you could, you're not old enough to get a licence.
I could pass.
Yeah, I know. You could get a job at £40 a week and buy an Alsatian pup and a Honda. Will you cop yourself on, Martin? What have you got? Sweet F all. Sorry, Martin. Really, I am.
So you had the sense to come home. But don't stand there, come in.
Ma says would you have a pound on next Tuesday. It's allowance day, you know.
I know. We don't want the whole balcony to know now, do we? Come in or I freeze to death here. On your back there, I'm dressing to go out. Well, any luck today?
No.
Did you go down to my brother's yard?
Yeah, I did.
Well,
He said he's nothing at the moment. He's done enough collecting and he's trying to get rid of it.
did he know of anyone?
No, nobody knows nothing.
What?
Nobody's any jobs for the likes of me.
Ah, give over moaning. They'll change.
Yeah, but when?
Now, there's £2. She'll need that. You've got to keep your ear to the ground. Why don't you come over to Meads with me tonight? There might be some nicks are going.
I'm not getting into trouble again.
Who said anything about trouble?
I'm not knocking off anything.
Who said anything about knocking off? Did I? Well, did I?
No.
Here, give me a hand with this. All I'm saying is that you can't sit in your arse all day.
Get up!
Keep your filthy tongue to yourself, Cronin.
I was only joking. Hey. Got a little message for me.
£3.75. Have you any change?
3, you're having me on.
Have you change of a fiver?
No.
Well, stay here then. I'll see can I get it from Essie.
Yes, I must be mad. Risking me bloody neck for 3.75. She can stuff it. Not doing any business with her, are you? Well, take my advice. Fix a price beforehand.
What business?
Collecting antiques. What you think?
Are you mad? Any trouble around here and I'm the first to be lurried off the Store Street.
Yeah, you might. Still, there's good pickings if you know where to look. But don't let her suck you in. I'm finished with her. Me and Johnny, we know it's a good place that's a cinch to knock off. Never been done before either. Thinking of having a look at it tonight. It's off the docks. A little shop. He locks up at 8:30 every night. It's a cinch. He's a little loud fella. I keeps him talking out the front. Johnny does the back office where the cash is. Be easier with 3 though.
Now push off. I'm late as it is.
Right, Clucker. Tonight.
What's he up to?
Nothing. Just the lads are meeting tonight.
Why don't you go? Here, you might want a few fags.
If you haven't got a house, you have nothing. We consider housing as an essential need for every man, not as a means of making profit for the ruling classes.
I agree. And not only would I agree, but I'd go further and
The
say...
working class have put up with it for too long, but not any longer. We must show the bureaucrats. That's why I say that street defence committees are essential.
Agreed.
Now, why haven't we got a militant group in this area to attack the imperialists and defend the civil rights of the people?
Oh, easy said. Jack, you might as well be talking to the Wallace, to the lads around here. Oh, they do the devil and all in here over a pint, but it's all only a talk. When it comes to the crunch, they're a crowd of swagglers. What?
Ma's looking for you.
For what?
She thought you'd be back.
Well, I will be back when I'm ready. Can't you see I'm discussing something with a gentleman?
We must make them aware of the conditions which they are forced to live under.
Look at if Shell's win of a Sunday, it's about as much as the half of them hope for.
The corporation will be forced into providing a decent home for every family by the proletariat, but only if we fight for it. The city manager's roof won't stay leaking for 2 years. Babies don't get bit by rats in Fox Rock. But look.
You needn't tell me. I wouldn't mind, but you're going on to the housing crowd and report it, and the man says, yeah, and takes it all down, but that's all it's done about it. Are you still here?
She said not to come back without you.
Oh, she's worried about me?
Yeah.
Well, she's worried about you, too. Moping around without a sign of bringing in a penny. She's afraid of broken into the labour. Well, she's right. She'd be short the price of 3 points. That is, unless you could lend me that amount. But you lend us half a quid, man. Martin, be home in a minute. Tell her what it is.
What do I care when you come?
What?
Nothing.
Are you coming, Clucker? All right. We all did it. Everyone knocked things off. You knock things off if you get away with it. We go in gangs, and it was great gas knocking things off out of shops, especially the shops where they were looking out for you. I don't think I was doing wrong. I mean, I knew it was wrong, according to what they said, but it wasn't wrong, really. I mean, I seen blokes begging, and that wasn't right. And I didn't want to beg. I mean, no one should have to beg. My ma was always crying. I mean, she laughed, like, you know. But most times I remember her crying. I used to Mitch, and the inspector would call it the house. And when he'd gone, she'd just stand there and look at me. And when my dad come in, he'd bait us, but it never did any good. You'd like to do something, anything. It didn't matter what, just anything.